In the early 2000s, there was a company that seemed impossible to defeat. It controlled the mobile phone industry. Millions of people around the world carried its devices. Its phones were famous for being almost indestructible. At its peak, this company was worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But less than a decade later, it was almost gone. The strange part is, Nokia didn't disappear because it made bad phones. It disappeared because it failed to understand what phones were becoming. This is the story of how the world's biggest phone company lost everything. Before Apple and Samsung dominated the smartphone world, there was Nokia. But Nokia was not always a phone company. It started in Finland in 1865 as a paper mill. Over time, it expanded into different industries, including rubber, electronics, and telecommunications. By the 1990s, Nokia found its winning formula: simple phones, reliable technology, long battery life, and most importantly, phones that ordinary people could afford. Nokia became the world's largest mobile phone manufacturer. At its peak, it controlled more than 40% of the global mobile phone market. In many countries, owning a Nokia phone was a symbol of success. From the outside, Nokia looked unstoppable. But inside the company, a problem was growing. Nokia was built around hardware. The company believed the future of phones was about better batteries, stronger designs, and smaller devices. But another revolution was happening. Phones were becoming computers. The next battle would not be about who made the best phone. It would be about who controlled the software experience. Nokia actually saw this future coming. In 2001, it released the Nokia Communicator, a device that combined a phone with computer features. But Nokia failed to fully commit. Its software system, Symbian, became complicated and difficult for developers. While Nokia was improving yesterday's phones, competitors were building tomorrow's devices. Then, in 2007, everything changed. Steve Jobs walked onto a stage and introduced the first iPhone. It was not the first smartphone, but it changed what people expected from phones. A large touchscreen, a simple interface, internet browsing that actually worked, and an ecosystem of applications. Nokia executives initially underestimated it. Some believed touchscreen phones would never replace physical keyboards. They were wrong. The market was shifting faster than Nokia could react. Nokia's biggest problem was not that it had no ideas. The company had talented engineers, it had billions of dollars, and it had millions of loyal customers. The problem was decision-making. The company became slow. Different departments competed against each other. Leaders struggled to decide which direction to take. By the time Nokia created a serious competitor to the iPhone, the market had already moved on. In 2011, Nokia made a desperate move. It partnered with Microsoft and abandoned Symbian. But the new Windows Phone strategy failed to gain enough users. Developers focused on Android and iPhone instead. In 2013, Nokia sold its mobile phone division to Microsoft. The company that once dominated the world was no longer making phones. Thousands of employees lost their jobs. A brand that had become a symbol of mobile technology had become a lesson in business history. But Nokia's story is not simply about failure. Nokia had one of the strongest brands in history. It had talented people. It had resources. What it lacked was speed. The company did not lose because it ignored technology. It lost because it misunderstood where technology was going. The story of Nokia teaches a lesson that applies far beyond phones. The biggest companies are not always destroyed by their competitors. Sometimes they are destroyed by the world changing faster than they can adapt. Every success story has a hidden chapter. Every failure has a deeper reason. And that is the context most people never hear. Welcome to Context Docs,